What is up, guys? So you want to learn how to tail whip, and today I'm going to teach you how to do that. To progress as a scooter rider, you're definitely going to want to learn how to tail whip. It's the foundation for so many other tricks: double whip, bar whip, whip bar, rotor whip, full whip, 360 whip, 180 whip, downside whip. The list goes on and on. Whip rewind, kickless rewind, all that stuff. Knowing how to tail whip is gonna help you get a lot of other tricks down the road, and it's something you definitely have to learn. So to learn how to tail whip, you're gonna have to figure out which stance you ride in, and there's two main stances. This is called goofy, when you ride with your left foot in the back of your right and you push with your left foot. And when you ride with your right foot in the back and push with your right foot, you ride regular footed. Now that stuff is only important just because that's how you're gonna figure out which foot you have to throw your tail whip with. So for a tail whip, you really just have to be comfortable riding the scooter, and you have to know how to jump a little bit. To learn the tail whip, there are 4 simple steps. It goes jump, flick, wrist, land. Now the jump part is obviously jumping with your scooter, right? And then for the flick part, if you ride goofy footed like me with your left foot in the back, you're gonna want to flick and throw your deck that way, right? So you do that by keeping your foot back here and your right foot a little bit in front of it. Definitely not too far ahead in the front of the deck, because you wouldn't be able to tail whip like that, especially when you're first learning. So to flick the deck, you kind of scoop it with your toes. You sort of curl your toes around the side of the deck, almost at the ball of your feet, and then you flick with your foot in a counterclockwise direction. And if you were to be riding regular, it would be the same thing with your right foot. Curl your toes around the side of the deck, flick it like that. Along with the flick of your foot, you're gonna need your wrist to do some work as well. So you can practice that by flicking the scooter like I taught you, and using your wrists like this motion to just keep the scooter going. To me, the most important part of this trick is the flicking motion that you do with your wrists. So you're really gonna wanna get that down and get comfortable with the deck spinning fast, because it's really gonna help you land the tail whip. So to recap what we've learned so far, we've learned how to flick the deck and to rotate it with your wrists, like so. So now you might be ready to go outside and try the tail whip. If you follow my steps by jumping, flicking your deck around with your foot, and using your wrist to help you spin the deck around, the deck should be going around. Your first few attempts might look something like this. Like any other trick, with the tail whip, you just have to keep practicing it, throwing it, getting comfortable with it, and over time you'll learn your own mistakes and see what you're doing wrong and how you can improve on them. If your tail whips are looking like the examples that I just did, you're probably not jumping high enough and or getting the deck around fast enough. So just work on using your wrists to really spin the deck around fast, and also work on your jumps. Make sure that you're not jumping too low. You can also try this trick out of a little ramp or off of a little curb. It'll definitely help. So with these 4 steps, jump, flick, wrist, and land, you're definitely ready to try tail whips. So I'm gonna show you what a few tail whips look like right now. Alright guys, thank you for watching that little tutorial. Go outside, try your tail whips. If you land them, send me videos to my Instagram, Jake Howard Scoot. If you have any questions, send them to my DM, Jake Howard Scoot.